welcome back to the channel, and in this episode we are going to cover year 3 of this wonderful traumatic brain injury journey. So year 3 for me was all about combining the first 2 videos. It's just a natural flow for me. This is just the way things went. So understand if this is not how it flows for you, that's okay. I'm just sharing these experiences so maybe you can glean some information that might be helpful for you no matter what year you're on or where in the healing process you are. So if you haven't checked out the first 2 videos, I highly recommend those. I'll put a link up here or one in the description where you can check them out. So let's talk about year 3. I've now had my brain injury for 2 years. The first year I was dealing with the physicality of it, right? Who am I, how to function with these disabilities, all that good stuff. Year 2, emotions. Emotions came in hard. How do I navigate this depression, this anxiety, loss of my friends, all that stuff. You know, people wishing I used to be somebody else that I'm not now. All that we know comes up with the emotions and the journey of having a brain injury. Year 3 for me was feeling like, okay, I'm going to combine these things. And that's not really, I didn't mentally think I'm going to combine them. It's just how I felt. You know, I had gotten those kind of down, although, you know, you're always dealing with the emotions. And now I realize I need support. Like, I'm able to be a little more social because I couldn't have stimulation for a long time. I'm able to handle this more, but I want to be around others who understand me. The number 1 suggestion I would give you is community. Find community in a support group. Being able to walk in, and I was petrified, okay? I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what this retreat would mean. I had never met another brain injury survivor, so I didn't know what was going to happen. But the minute I went in there and I met those 20 survivors who to this day are now some of my dearest friends, this huge weight lifted off of me because those people just got it. And they got it because they were going through it themselves. So we became this instant family. And it can be hard. I joined a lot of brain injury groups online, Facebook, you know, in different cities. I lived in, well, this will be my 3rd city since my brain injury. And, you know, the Brain Injury Alliance is a great resource. Some of their chapters, they have chapters in every state, in almost all the cities. Some are better than others. Take into consideration also the support you need. Right? If you need emotional support, if you need physical support, if you need to know more resources to help you get the treatments, all that plays into the type of groups. There were online groups that all people did was complain. And I'm not saying complaining is a bad thing. Not at all. But we also don't want to live there. Right? It's like, yes, for me, yes, that stuff's true. But how do I move through it? How do I navigate beyond this? Because I don't always want to be in this space. I left some support groups because they weren't helping me. So the second tip I would give you, and that a lot of people don't talk about, is being your own advocate. I know that can be hard, and depending how bad your injury was and what you've sustained, it can be more difficult than others, and you have to rely on a caregiver. And so if a caregiver is watching this, I would say 2 things. Please listen to the brain injury survivor, and please don't just dismiss them. Because it can be a very lonely place as a survivor. I got dismissed a lot because people felt like, well, you sound fine, you look fine, but I wasn't fine. So there's a lot of times where I felt like I was standing in a crowded room screaming for help and nobody was listening. And it was the support group, my friends and the neurotherapist that got brought in and the speech therapist that got brought into those retreats that really helped me and was significant because I had no medical coverage when my injury happened. So I had no medical team. I didn't even know I was supposed to have a speech therapist. You have to be your own advocate. People will dismiss you. People will not listen to you. In fact, I left my neuro in Charlotte because I went in with severe head pain and they wanted to test me for diabetes and anemia. And I went, I'm not diabetic or anemic. I hit my head. And they're like, well, we really don't know what else to do for you. And I went, okay, then I'm done. I'm not coming back here and paying more money. You can't help me. Understand that if you are not feeling seen and heard by your doctors, by your therapists, by whoever, try to keep talking to them. Try to get them to hear you. But if they don't, it might be time to look for someone else. Someone who is listening. Because I promise you, there are doctors and therapists and speech therapists. I've met an amazing group of people who really just want to help and love the community. And that's where being a part of a support group can help you. Talk to other survivors. Ask who they're talking to, where they're going, how they're getting help. And thirdly, and I mentioned it early, I would say check out the local groups in your area. The Brain Injury Alliance is a great place to start, but there's all kinds of groups in different areas. I know here, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, there's this adaptive sport group. It's the only gym I know of in the country that caters to people with disabilities, brain injury survivors, veterans, and that's their focus, is helping create a facility and helping those move forward. Keep looking for resources. I know it sounds draining, and if you can't do it, ask a caregiver, ask a friend, ask a relative, sometimes ask another survivor, depending on how far along they are in their journey, to help you, to give you ideas. Because there is now more than ever more resources out there than there was when I had my injury. In fact, we've seen it grow a lot. There's all types of opportunities for you to find the support and resources you need. So don't give up. Do a little bit at a time. If you can only look for 10 minutes, then do 10 minutes. If you can only look for 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. Each day or every other day, just take time and understand this is your investment in you. And the more resources you have, the more tools you have to pull from, the easier this journey is going to be. Find a community and a support group. There's plenty online. In person is just starting to come back. I have an online group. I know several others that have online groups that are wonderful, and I will put the links to those in the description box. I think I put them in, I don't know if I put them in another one. I'll put them in the description box. And then in-person ones are starting to come back as well, locally, where you can physically meet somebody and hang out, because it will make a world of difference. Self-advocate. Know that you know your body better than anybody. Better than anybody. So listen to it. Speak for what you need. Ask for what you need. And if people aren't listening, find people who will. And thirdly, resources. Keep looking for them. They're around you. And online is the best place to start. So is the Brain Injury Association, at least in the United States. I believe Canada has one. I don't know all around the world. And social media. I know it can be overdraining and whelming, but there's a lot of good TBI information and concussion information on there to give you resources as well. So I hope this helped you guys. So thank you for being here. If you found this information helpful, please give it a like so other survivors can see it. And know that I am sending you tons of hugs and healing. And we'll see you in the next one.